I bought 3 of them. The artwork on this thing is just crazy. Triple blue eyes. Boom, the whole set completed. This card has never been reprinted. This was the grail, the holy grail that I was looking for. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Shadow Realm and welcome back to part 2 of my Yugioh Japan shopping haul, where today we're going to be going through this binder here and all of the cards that I bought for my recent trip to Japan. Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and yes, welcome back to part 2 of the Yugioh Japan shopping haul. And if you missed part 1, make sure to go back and watch part 1 because that's where we covered all the non-card purchases. So yeah guys, a lot of the cards I bought are in this binder right here. So a lot of the medium to kind of low value stuff's in here, and then a little bit of the higher value stuff is in this little deck box here. So we'll go through this at the end of the video, but let's crack into the binder and not waste any more time. So like I mentioned in part 1, all of these cards came from my trip to Japan last year in about June 2023. And that was the first time I'd been back to Japan that I'd gotten back into the Yu-Gi-Oh hobby. And for that reason, I was really on the lookout. I was really into Japanese layout cards at that time. So Series 1 layout and Series 2 layout. You'll probably see a lot of those style cards throughout this binder, but straight away, one of the first cards I saw on my trip were these. These are premium pack for Dark Magician Girls. So they're Series 2 layout, attack and defense here with the centered picture, but you only have the one character for attack and defense. So yeah, me being just back into the hobby when I went on this trip, I had no idea what Premium Pack was, Premium Pack 4. All I saw was an ultra rare Japanese layout Dark Magician Girl. But actually check this out, I was very bothered when I came back from that Japan trip. So I kept prices for everything I bought. So I actually labeled up every card with the price and like my kind of approximate grade on what the card was. It was only like $5. See, it's 570 yen. It was like $5 Australian. So in my head, that was a no-brainer. And yeah, it's uncensored Japanese Dark Magician Girl, Japanese layout, $5. I bought 3 of them. So yeah, like I mentioned, I had no idea what Premium Pack was. And if you don't know, so the reason why these are so cheap is Premium Pack 4 are guaranteed hits. So every Premium Pack 4 you open, you're guaranteed to get one of these. So they weren't all the same condition. If we have a look, so this one was, in my estimation, this was a 6, and this was a 7, and this was a 6. So the two 6s actually were much cheaper. Look, 175 yen. So these are $2 each, and the 7 was $5. So it was kind of a no-brainer. We got triple ultra rare Dark Magician Girl in Japanese layout. Alright guys, so moving on, you can kind of see the theme. I do consider myself sort of a budget collector and a bargain hunter, so nothing in this binder is going to be crazy expensive. The deck box later, we get there a little bit, but nothing crazy. But anyway, moving on, we have this here. This is the 15th anniversary Alt Art Dark Magician Girl. So this is the 15 AY. So this came out in the Memories of the Dual King Battle City Arc set. Ultra rare Dark Magician Girl Alt Art. And this is what I thought was a pretty minty card. I gave it a 9. So, and this was $15. So $15 for this ultra rare Alt Art Dark Magician Girl. Alright, next up we have the Muggy Magician Girl. So I was definitely on the hunt for one of these in a pretty nice condition when I was over there. I didn't need a kind of PSA 10 copy, but I did want a nice copy for the binder. So if you don't know about this card, this is a Muggy Magician Girl. This was a promo card drawn by Kazuki Takahashi. You can see his signature in the bottom right there. But we never got this card released in English in the TCG. So in the OCG is the only place you can get this card. And it's kind of an ult of Dark Magician Girl. The artwork on this thing is just crazy. This one was a mint 9 in my estimation, and it was 1,380 yen, so about $14. $14 for a minty Muggy Magician Girl. It did take me a while to find this in a good price, so I did hunt a lot of shops. A lot of shops had this card. It's not rare by any means, but in order to find it in good condition for a decent price, took a little hunting, but definitely happy I picked this up to add to the binder. Okay, so next up we have this. This is the secret rare Magician's Valkyria. So this was released in the 15th anniversary as well, and the prismatic secret just pops insanely on this card. Just look at that. Oh my gosh. So this one was a mint 9 in my estimation, and it was about $10. So 10 bucks for the 15th anniversary Magician's Valkyria. I was just buying things left, right, and center. I didn't really come with too much of a plan. I came with a little bit of a plan, and that kind of feeds into kind of my top tips for buying cards in Japan as well. I might make a separate video about that, but coming with a plan is definitely smart if you're trying to buy some cards in Japan. Next up, we have this one. This is the anniversary pack in Dark Magician Girl. So I definitely wanted to pick one of these up as well. This, of course, was one of these special artwork cards redrawn again by Kazuki Takahashi and released for the 2008 anniversary pack. So this was the Dark Magician Girl, this one with the borderless kind of artwork. I was looking for a great binder copy of this one. This was an 8.5. Look, I'm harsh on my grading, okay? It's like this one 8.5, this was 1,000 yen, so 10 bucks. So 10 bucks for an 8.5 copy of the anniversary pack Dark Magician Girl. Okay, and the next two cards are also anniversary pack cards. So I wasn't really on the hunt to collect the entire anniversary pack set, but I found these two, and I'll tell you the story about these two. So this is the anniversary pack Celtic Guardian and Shiba Warrior Toro. This was Kazuki Takahashi's dog. He kind of cardified and cartoonified his dog and immortalized his dog in a Yugioh card. So I wasn't really on the hunt for the anniversary pack cards. I was really only interested in the Dark Magician Girl, but then I found these. So the story behind these are, if you go to most card shops in Japan, a lot of the time they're gonna have singles on display on the walls in display cabinets very beautifully, but a lot of the time they'll also have laid out on tables somewhere a bunch of boxes with singles inside of them. Now sometimes these singles will be kind of bulk cards, so bulk from a lot of recent sets they've opened and they'll just throw them in here for people to buy. Sometimes these boxes will just contain a whole mishmash of cards from like old, new, vintage, all different sets, all different rarities, and you really will never know what you're gonna find. And also I forgot to mention, a lot of these boxes, the cards are priced at 33 yen each. So that's like 30 cents per card. And one of my favorite things to do, honestly, one of me and my wife's favorite things to do when we go to these card shops is to rifle through these boxes of single cards and try to look for deals, because sometimes you can find a steal. It's a great way to burn time if you've got time to burn, just going through these singles and looking for interesting cards. But these two cards were found in some of those singles boxes. They were 33 yen each, 30 cents each. Now, the condition of the cards, because they're just thrown in to these boxes, a lot of the time they're not going to be sleeved, they're just going to be thrown in there raw. Sometimes if you find those nice boxes, they will be in sleeves or top loaders, but in that case, they're not going to be 33 yen, they're a bit more expensive in that case, but these ones were 33 cents each. So the Celtic Guardian was a 5 in my estimation. I think it had a lot of scratching, the corners were a bit dinged, as you can see. But it's honestly not that bad. But yeah, for 30 cents, a 5 Celtic Guardian, it was pretty good. So pretty cool just to have in the collection for 30 cents. I'm definitely taking that. And the Shiba Warrior Taro was a 7 in my estimation. So 30 cents for a 7 anniversary pack Shiba Warrior Taro. Awesome card to have in the collection, and yeah, just can't say no for 30 cents. So if you go to Japanese card shops, I definitely do recommend you just have a rifle through those singles boxes, because you never know what you're gonna find. Moving on to page 2 and 3 of the binder, getting to some of the more nostalgic cards that I found. And as you can see, a lot of Japanese layout Series 1, Series 2 cards. Whoa, okay guys, so I think my microphone was broken that whole time, but hopefully it's fixed now. So hopefully the microphone quality is better from here on, but where were we? Okay, so second page, we have a lot more nostalgic cards here, a lot of Japanese layout cards here. Starting off with the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. So these are all different. We've got Series 1, Series 1, Series 2. Okay, so the first Blue Eyes we have here is a Series 1. This one is from the EX starter box. So this was a 6 and it was around $14. So the EX starter box Blue Eyes in Series 1 layout, very nice. The second one we have here is also Series 1, but this is from the EX starter box reprint. So this is $19.99, but very similar. The only main difference between the two is the signature kind of stamping on the bottom. So the reprint, I think, has a bit extra. Maybe it says reprint, I'm not sure. But so there is the EX starter box and EX starter box reprint, both Series 1. And the third one we have here is the Series 2. So this is EX49. That is the EXR starter box. So this came out in 2000. I guess it was the second reprint of the EX starter box, but this time in series 2. So in a 6 condition, this was $5. So these weren't too expensive, and definitely a cool part of history to have, the EX starter box Blue Eyes. They just look amazing. So that was the 3 triple EX starter box Blue Eyes. Moving on, we have the LOB. Well, not really LOB, but this is the Legend of Blue Eyes Dark Magician. So ultra rare Dark Magician. I had to get one of these as well. It's series 2 layer, but the ultra rare Dark Magician. So it's LB05. This came in 2000, Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician Ultra Rare. So this, in my estimation, was a 7 condition, and it was $8. So $8 for the Ultra Rare LOB Japanese Dark Magician. And then next up, you might have already seen, so I totally forgot I bought this card. This is the Premium Pack Exodia original print. So I did the video like a month ago about the reprint, where I was hunting for this card in the reprint, but I completely forgot that I had bought the original print. So this was a find in one of those singles boxes where I was rifling through just searching for single stuff. I found this in one of those boxes. This was 33 yen. Yes, the condition is a 3. Okay, it has like a lot of silvering on the edges. The corners are okay. No, not really. The edges are kind of iffy as well. Like obviously it's a 3, okay? But for 30 cents? 30 cents for the Series 1 Exodia. I completely forgot I bought this card. So now I can actually add this. The Premium Pack 1, I can add this to my set that I got. Let me do that right now, actually. Alright, so the Exodia limb reprints, here they are. We have the left leg, right arm, right leg, left arm. We can finally add, this was the card that we were hunting for that whole time in that video, in the Premium Pack 1 reprint. We have the original right here, the original Series 1 Exodia head, boom, the whole set completed. Just like that, beautiful. But yeah, that's so funny. When I reopened this binder to do this video, I saw that card and I was like, wait a minute. That is the one that I was searching for this whole time. But, you know, not the same, because obviously the Eye of Anubis. So like I mentioned in that video, if you missed that video, definitely go back and watch it. It was a great video. But the reprint, the big distinguishing feature is the Eye of Anubis. Now the original Premium Pack Exodia does not have the Eye of Anubis, and the original limbs don't have it either. So don't get tricked, don't get fooled. The original, super cheap. I picked this up for 30 cents, but the reprint is still going for crazy money. Still going for like a couple $100. So I am going back to Japan in October this year, so I might try to find one in person. But yeah, that's Exodia Premium Pack 1, 33 cents. All right, moving on to this guy. This is one of the best finds, in my opinion, that I found on the trip. So I actually absolutely love this card. So nostalgic. SDK 001, first edition. Of course, it is Asian English. But this card was a 5 condition. It had like a pretty big binder ding. Let me show you guys. If you look in the top right, can I get the light to catch it? There is a binder dent right there. The centering of the card is not the best, but this was also found in one of those singles boxes, but this was one of the more like upscale, more expensive singles boxes. So this was actually in a top loader as I was rifling through it, and it was, if we check the label, so I thought it was a 5 because of the ding and there's a little bit of silvering on the edges, but it was 2,900 yen, so 30 bucks. 30 bucks for a first edition SDK Blue Eyes Ultra Rare. I thought it was sick. Like for 30 bucks, I was more than happy to grab this to add to the collection, but very cool, super cool. This is super nostalgic. Obviously, this was the one everyone had in their starter deck Kaibas. And next up on this last page, we have the 3 Duelist Kingdom invitation cards. So these were actually reprints. So the original Tokyo Dome tournament, there was events where you would, some duelists would get invited to the actual Tokyo Dome tournament in these pre-events. And in those events, people who got invited, just like the anime, received the invitation cards. So this is not the original invitation cards. These are reprints. So as you can see, in the bottom left it says replica. So these are the first time they ever reprinted those original Tokyo Dome invitation cards. So we have Duelist Kingdom, Set Sail for the Kingdom, and Glory of the King's Hand. So I found these also, I'm going crazy. I also found these in one of those singles boxes, but it was one of the nice ones. They're all top loaded. There were 8 conditions. So I thought they were 8s. They weren't PSA 10s, but I gave them 8s and they were $5 each. So I thought they were very cool. So the first time these cards were reprinted was in the 2002 Structure Deck Pegasus. I think they were reprinted one more time in like the teens, like 2014. These were so cool when I saw them. I definitely thought they would make an awesome display piece. Just so cool. The original invitation cards for the Duelist Kingdom tournament. Alright, so moving on to the third page of the binder here. So here, we're just going to find some more kind of random nostalgic stuff. At this point, I was just trying to find anything that was Japanese layout. So Series 1, Series 2, and that was nostalgic to me to kind of fill out the binder. So first one was Cyberstein Series 2. I found this guy in one of the displays. So a lot of the time, a lot of people weren't interested in these old cards. So I was always on the lookout. As soon as I saw something that was Series 1 and Series 2 that caught my eye, I was all over it. So we found a Cyberstein. This one was a 7 condition and it was $6. This was in the 2001 Booster Chronicle. So it's a super, but just a nostalgic card. The amount of times you whip this guy out in like the Game Boy games to just insta-summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, that was the go-to strat. But along the same lines of nostalgic Kaiba cards, I found this guy, the Lord of D, Series 2, Ultra Rare. This was a very cool card as well. Decent condition. This was a 6 as well. This was $5. So this was in the EXR starter box. Okay, this next one's a bit random because I was so searching for a Japanese layout, either Series 1 or Series 2 of the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, but I just couldn't find one for a decent price. So this is the Secret Rare Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from the 2011 Beginners Edition 1. So it was 800 yen, $8 for a 4 conditions, so not great. So it had a lot of edge wear, a lot of corner wear. I think there was a little hollow scratching as well, but I just wanted to pick up a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and this was kind of the best one that I could find for like on a budget, you know. So Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, one day I'll go back, and then especially now with the Premium Pack 1 reprint, you can pick up that reprint Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon very cheap, so I might put that in there. Next up, we have a Curse of a Dragon, Series 1 Curse of Dragon. So this guy is from Volume 2, 1999, Volume 2 Ultra Rare Curse of Dragon. This thing in a 5 was $20. So Volume 2, obviously, very rare, very hard to find good condition cards. This one, maybe, if I had my chance again, I wouldn't have bought. Like, obviously, it's very cool, but for $20, like, I think I was just caught up in the whole experience of being in Japan, because I think I bought this very early on in the trip. But for $20 for a 5 condition, I could have done better, and honestly, I could have done without, honestly. But maybe this one was one of the first ones I kind of regret. But there is the Series 1 Curse of Dragon. And right next to him is his best friend. This is the Series 2 Gaia the Fierce Knight Ultra Rare. So Series 2 Ultra Rare. This is from 2000 from a Booster R1. So in a 7 condition, this was about $5. So this one is a lot nicer priced. Very cool, super cool artwork. Gaia the Fierce Knight. And then of course, so like when I got the Curse of Dragon, I got the guy, and of course next up you had to get Gaia the Dragon Champion. So we got a Gaia the Dragon Champion Series 2. This thing is from PG, so this is from Phantom God. PG04. So this is an ultra parallel rare. So it has the gold name, but it has this whole parallel foil to it. I know it's not people's favorite. Honestly, it's not my favorite either. Like the cards just look kind of fake. Like these cards look fake because they have that gloss layer on top, but ultra parallel rare Gaia the Dragon Champion, super shiny, super glossy, just pretty cool, pretty cool. $3.70, so about $4 for a 7 ultra parallel rare Gaia the Dragon Champion. Hey, that's okay for $3.70. I'll take that. Next up we have a Summon Skull of keeping going with the classic cards. Ultra rare Summon Skull. Series 2. This is from Revival of Black Demon's Dragon. That's what the set's called in 2000. This was in a 7. Ultra rare was $1.75, $2. $2 for the Summon Skull. And this was in a 7. It's like decently conditioned. So this was very cool. Had to pick this up. Pretty cheap. And then, of course, one of my favorite cards of all time. The Red Eyes Black Skull Dragon. This is also ultra parallel rare. Series 1, by the way, check it. Series 1, ultra parallel rare. This is 1999, Volume 5, Black Skull Dragon. So this was an 8 condition, pretty good condition, and this was $20. So this one a little bit more expensive as well, $20 for the 8. Let's take it out of the sleeve just to appreciate it a little bit more. So very nice condition, this one. Super glossy as well. Such a cool card. Series 1, Volume 5. And then you might be thinking, you need a Red Eyes. Where's the Red Eyes? You got the Summon Skull, you got the Black Skull Dragon. Where's the Red Eyes? So, the Red Eyes is in this thing. This is an Oripa, or an original pack. So it is a mystery pack made by card stores in Japan. But the Red Eyes is right here. So this Oripa, this mystery pack was $50. So Oripas and mystery packs kind of range in price in Japan. You can get really cheap ones for like $10. You can get ones that are like hundreds of dollars. This one was kind of middle of the pack. This was $50 for a mystery pack. So obviously you see the 2 end cards. And then, so this was Phantom God, Series 2, Ultra Rare Red Eyes Black Dragon. And on the back here is an LOB Celtic Guardian. I'm going to open this on camera one day. I did buy another mystery pack as well that'll be part of that video. But coming up, we will be opening some Japanese mystery packs. But here's the Red Eyes that kind of completes this row here. So that's going to be in this row eventually. But next up, we have this. This is a Pharaoh's Servant. Pharaoh's Servant 2000, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon Secret Rare. So Series 2 layout. Secret Rare Blue Eyes Toon. So cool, so nostalgic. I had to pick this up. This was a 4 condition. This thing was messed up. So why did I give this a 4 actually? Oh, okay, I can see. So it has a big kind of dent / scratch on the front of it. I downgraded to a 4, I told you. Shadow Realm grading here. No, we're no nonsense. We don't play around. So this copped a 4. There's a lot of dents on the back as well. This thing was $6, $7 for a 4. It's kind of brutal. So maybe this one, if I had my time again, I wouldn't have bought. Maybe would have held out for a nicer one. But that holo for that secret rare holo is popping right now. But here we go to the next pages. So here we're kind of getting a bit all over the place. So the top left here we have some random premium pack 4 cards. So this is the Arcana Art Dark Magician, very cool. Series 2, the red Dark Magician. But this was 50 cents. 50 cents for Premium Pack 4 Dark Magician. So, like I mentioned before, Premium Pack 4, the cards are guaranteed in the booster pack. That's why they're so cheap. But I was trying to find these on the cheap, if you know what I mean. So, this is Dark Magic Curtain, Ultra Rare. Also Premium Pack 4. This was 50 cents in a 5 condition. And then we have the classic magic cylinders. This is also part of Premium Pack 4. Premium Pack 4 is fire for Dark Magician Girl. This one was 33 yen, so 30 cents for an 8 condition. Pretty nice. Not bad. Happy to have that in the collection. Maybe one day I'm going to buy my own sealed Premium Pack 4 and open it, but who knows. Here we have 2 Tri-Horn Dragons. These 2 Tri-Horn Dragons from Premium Pack 3. So exact same, but I think varying conditions. One of these was messed up. Okay, yeah. This was a 7, 50 cents, and this is a 2 for 30 cents. So now again, so these pages are kind of getting towards like the bargain hunting kind of phase of the trip. All right, next up we have, I think this was a little bit more expensive card. This is the Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. This is where we get into the modern layout of the Series 3. So this is from Controller of Chaos. So the 2003 we're up to. So Controller of Chaos, Blackluster Soldier, Ultra Rare. It was messed up. This is a 2, and it was $4. $4 for this one. There is an ulti of this card that is uber expensive, but I settled for this because, hey, I'm a bargain hunter. If I was really going to go for that ulti, I would have done a lot more research and taken my time more, but I just wasn't really that into it. So this is, a 2 condition. It's pretty rough, but for $4, it's pretty happy to have this just temporarily in place before one day I pick up that ulti. So down here, these are all from the singles boxes, so they're all 30 cents each, 33 yen each. I'm not going to take them out, but we got Swift Gaia, Obnoxious Celtic Guardian, Winged Guardian of the Fortress. This is Series 1. Moving on, we have a Blackluster Soldier Series 1. So while I was over there was when they were running the campaign for the vanilla Blackluster Soldier. So they weren't, this was when you were entering into the campaign to go into the lottery to win it. So they weren't released, it wasn't released yet. I wanted to get in on that a little bit, so I got this instead. This was from 2000 Dark Ceremony. So this was actually pretty expensive. It was 8.5 condition. It was $30. So $30 for this thing. Not bad, but maybe if I had my time again, I might not have bought this thing. But I was really in the kind of FOMO of that vanilla Blackluster Soldier, so I picked this guy up. Alright, next up we have the Magician of Black Chaos. So this is Premium Pack 3. Premium Pack 3 Super Rare Magician of Black Chaos. This is actually, see how it says replica. This is a reprint of the Tokyo Dome attendance card. So, not Series 1, but if you attended Tokyo Dome back in 1999, you would have gotten this card as a promo. But this is an 8. It was $2. $2 for Premium Pack 3, 8 Magician of Black Chaos. Pretty cool. Pretty cool addition to the binder, so I had to pick this one up. The next card is a little interesting. So the next one, this card, I had no idea what it was, but it was cheap and it was Series 1, so I had to get it. So obviously I knew it was a ritual card, it was ultra rare, but when I did research on this card, so this card is actually called the Dokuro Rider. It means like Skull Rider or something, but it's a 4, it was $3. But it was released in 1999 in the Valuable Book 1 promo. But the Skull Rider, this card has never, ever been reprinted. This is the only printing ever of this card in the OCG or in English, to my knowledge. But probably never got reprinted because it's absolutely useless. Ritual card with 1900 attack. But Series 1 layout, this thing was pretty cool. So the cool little piece of history for $3. I was happy to pick this thing up. Alright, next up we have some more nostalgic bangers. We have the Flame Swordsman Series 2. This is LOB 2000 Legend of Blue Eyes. 8 condition for $2. So $2 for the ultra rare LOB Flame Swordsman. And then we have some more Joey classics. So we've got the Metal Morph. This was Premium Pack 5. This was 80 cents in a 9. So no one really cares about this card, Premium Pack 5. I guess it's, I'm not sure if Premium Pack 5 was the same as Premium Pack 4 where it was all guaranteed. It would make sense, that's why this card is so cheap. But it looks beautiful. Metal Morph from Premium Pack 5 Ultra Rare. And then of course we have to get the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. So also from Premium Pack 5, the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. This thing was beat up, so this thing is a 3. It was 50 cents. But this thing was absolutely beat up. I think that was like, it looked like a cigarette burn. I want to be honest. Yeah, right there, if you can see it. But it had like a gouge out of the front of it. But it was one of the only Red Eyes Black Metal Dragons I could find. Like not a popular card at all. Obviously, like it had its time in the anime, but they moved on from it really quick. So it was cool. I definitely wanted to find one of these. Okay, really the rest of these and kind of the rest of the binder are just the super budget deals that I found in those boxes, the 33 yen boxes. So we got Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. I found these two. These are crazy. These were collector rares for 30 cents. So we got the Elemental Hero, Shining Flare Wingman, and Egyptian God Slime. Oh, sorry, my mistake. This is the Japanese Ultimate Rare. So I found an Ultimate Rare for 30 cents. So this is from POTE. I'm not sure what set that is. And then the Egyptian God Slime Ultimate Rare as well for 30 cents. 30 cents for an Ultimate Rare, I couldn't say no, so I had to pick those up just for the sake of it. And then the rest of this, again, is just the 33 yen deals, but they were just nostalgic cards. So we've got these random, so that's just a rare Blue Eyes Toon. That's like an LOB art, Blue Eyes, another Gaia. We've got a super Jinzo here. I'll just go through these quickly. Baby Dragon, Thousand Dragon. Just more Joey classics. We've got 3 Dark Magician girls here. They're from SDMY, 30 cents each, just why not? Got a bunch of different tour guides. I was feeling tour guides, so we just found a bunch, all 30 cents each, guys. So a bunch of tour guides from all different sets. So Series 2 Karibo, and then we got some random ones here. That's a Japanese Monster Reborn, Change Your Heart, and then we have, I think, like a gold rare sort of thing, Dark Paladin. This is from GP16, but that's pretty much the binder. That was pretty much it, the beginnings of my kind of Yu-Gi-Oh collecting binder. Definitely these 2 pages are some of my favorite cards that I found on the trip. And then the kind of Dark Magician Girl page. So that binder was pretty much the cards where like I walk into a card shop, you just browse the shelves, and then you see what you like, you pick what you like, and then you just buy it randomly, you know. But I did go there specifically with some cards in mind to hunt. So that's what's in this deck box. There's a little bit higher value cards that I knew going into it that I wanted to find, and I wanted to find decent copies of. So first off, we have a Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl. So this thing is from the 2019 Duelist Pack Legend Duelist 6. So DP23 Ghost Rare, or Japanese, they don't call them Ghost Rares, they call them holographic rares. But I knew I wanted to find one of these in, not PSA 10, but like a very nice near mint kind of binder condition. And it has like color to it. So yeah, right there you can see it's Ghost Rare, but there's still color to it, if you can see. That is the DP23 holographic rare Dark Magician Girl. So this thing is a 9 condition that I assessed it in, and it was $100. So $100 for the Ghost Rare holographic rare DP23 Dark Magician Girl. Next up, along the same lines, I wanted to find this. So the 20th anniversary Ghost Rare or holographic rare Dark Magician. So let's get this out of the card protector. I mentioned these in the part 1 of the video, where what these were and like how much they were, you can buy them. But these are the full protect sleeves, full protect cases for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They pop open just like this and really do a great job. I love these things. I love how clean they look and how thin they are. But this is the 20 AP holographic rare Dark Magician. Again, this is not like a PSA 10 worthy copy. This was an 8.5. It was $40. So $40 for the holographic rare Dark Magician. This is from the 20th anniversary pack, second wave. Very cool, so we had to get this. Then of course, to complete the set, I had to get the 20th anniversary holographic rare Ghost Rare Blue Eyes White Dragon. So this guy, we pop it out. Same thing, it wasn't a PSA 10 kind of worthy copy. Still beautiful in my opinion, but this wasn't also an 8.5. This was $90, $95. So PSA 10 versions of this was also going for about $150, $200. But I settled for this just for the binder. So an 8.5 holographic rare. Let's take this one out of the sleeve just to have a look. Why did it get an 8.5? Let me see. The front looks pretty decent. What about the back? Okay, maybe the corners are a bit weak. Why did I give this an 8.5? Man, I was pretty harsh back then, but that's the Ghost Rare holographic rare Blue Eyes White Dragon. Very cool. So I wanted this trio of holographic or Ghost Rare cards. Okay, now in the final cards of the video. So these cards were kind of the main hunt of the whole trip. So going into the trip, I knew I definitely wanted to find copies of these cards in person so I could see and buy for myself. So if you know what these are, you know, but if you don't, these are the Dungeon Dice Monster Dark Magician Girl promos. So these cards came as promo cards in the Game Boy Advance Japanese Dungeon Dice Monsters game. I learnt about these cards from the Strictly Sealed video. He did a video about these promo cards, but basically there are 3 different artworks, but there are also 3 different rarities. So there's 9 cards altogether, if you can imagine. So these are referred to as the green, the blue, and the pink variations for obvious reasons. But they also come in ultra rare variations and an ultimate rare variation. But these, what I have here, are the secret rare variations. The main hunt for me was the green one. The green one is by far my favorite. I think it's the best artwork. So finding this in a PSA 10 BGS 10 worthy condition was the main part of the whole trip. So I went to so many card stores, guys. I went almost 100 card stores, I want to say, to try to find a minty green one. But if you can see, this one is not the cleanest version, but this was the only green secret DDM Dark Magician Girl I could find, and this one is by far not perfect. It is messed up. If I was gonna grade it, I would probably give it like a 5 and under. It's got this weird dent here. It's got like edge and the big issue on these DDM promo cards is these edges. So when they cut these cards from the sheet, it wasn't the cleanest, and I think the kind of cardboard they use, it always leaves like fraying white edges. So if you are looking for these cards, that's a big issue. But the corners were not great. But this was literally the only green secret DDM Dark Magician Girl I could find, so I had to pick it up. We found this very early on in the trip. In the first couple of days of the trip, I found this, and then I didn't find any for the rest of the entire trip, except for on the final day of the trip. I'm not even kidding. On the literal final day of the trip, me and my wife went back to Akihabara just for one final look. And then we found this. We found this thing right here. This is a green secret DDM Dark Magician Girl. But in my opinion, this thing is absolutely flawless. Immaculate. So when I saw this thing, like I said, it was on the literal last day of the trip, and I just thought it was fate. It was the universe telling me like I was supposed to find this card, because on the front, the corners and edges are so sharp. It's just crazy. And like I said, the big issue on these cards are the back edges. The edges, when I checked the edges, I mean, I'm gonna grade these things eventually, so I'll save all the kind of analysis and the story behind them for that video. But the edges of this thing were just crazy clean. So I really feel like this has maybe BGS Black Label potential, but when we found this card, it just made the entire trip for me. So this was the grail, the holy grail that I was looking for on the trip. But this is the green secret DDM Dark Magician Girl, and it was absolutely my favorite thing I found on the trip. I will be grading this eventually, so I'll be doing my first grading submission ever, so I will be making that video soon. But that's been part 2 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Japan haul. That was all the cards that I bought. I have been back to Japan a couple of times since this trip, so I have bought even more cards since then, so I'm going to be doing videos on those as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.